Hi everybody, my name is Michelle and I'm an addict. There's so many things I could say about this person. I was given their name and a high recommendation that they had a strong message. And then I listened to their tape, and within 10 minutes they touched me. And the rest of the people on my committee listened, and within 10 minutes they all thought the same thing. We had to get this guy. Because everything we heard, we didn't hear what we thought was a strong Narcotics Anonymous message, traditions, steps, fellowshipping, sponsorship, those things that we look for when we're in these rooms. So I called somebody in Kansas City and asked for their number and just prayed that they would give it to me. Because, sometimes we don't like to do that without knowing who you are on the other end of the phone. And they did, and I was glad, and within 24 hours I asked this person to share with us. And they were extremely humble. They were extremely grateful, and they said they would be most honored to be here. Over the last 3 months I've been able to talk to this person almost on a weekly basis. I've gotten to know them. And I have to tell you, he is a blessing in my recovery today. He is humble all the time. He definitely walks his talk. And I've been able to hang out with him and just get to know him. And he is a beautiful person in this fellowship. And I hope you all enjoy him as much as I have enjoyed listening to him. And I'm going to bring up Kirk from Dayton, Ohio now.
My name is Kirk. I'm an addict. I don't know, man. I'm always nervous. I'm going to put this away now. When I'm asked to do this, before I start, but look, I know sign language too. You won't learn this sign language in the halls of Harvard. I learned this right in the crack house. What I got into was, after you take a hit, you do like this. And look, something wrong with me. I need to share that before I even start off. I always try to get in touch with God, man. I try to get in touch with God. This area, look, I want to thank the convention committee. I want to thank this region. I want to thank this entire region, man, for asking me. It's an honor, right? Come on, silver anniversary, 25 years. It's an honor to be asked to do this. So I always try to hook up. I will be remiss. Look, I do a derivative of the service prayer. In the beginning of the basic text, in the introduction, there's a service prayer. We call it the service prayer. And what they did, and look, this region is a treasure trove, right? For basic text, loving people, right? Look. They wrote, right when they were compiling the basic text, before they met, they did the service prayer, and it says, God grant us knowledge. The literature say, God grant us knowledge that we may write. I say, God grant me knowledge that I may share according to your divine precepts. Instill in me a sense of your purpose. Grant me a bond of selflessness. Make me a servant of your will, that this may truly be your work, that no addict anywhere seeking recovery need die from the horrors of addiction. I don't know, that always hooks me up. This is a spiritual program, man. I believe in Narcotics Anonymous. I get excited about Narcotics Anonymous. This program saved my life. So I definitely get excited about this program, and I heard somebody say that they were not a NA police Well, I've taken it to another level. I'm part of the NA Gestapo, right? Man, I believe in this program, man. I believe in what we have here. Look, I love what Narcotics Anonymous has done, man. I love the fact that it has saved my life. You know what I mean? The literature says it cannot adequately be explained. Our text is at the end of a resume, there is a blurb, and it says references available upon request. So I'm going to show you some of my references. Miracles happen. Step working God. It works how and why. The concepts. I got CDs and DVDs and I got IPs and I got Just for Today in here somewhere. You can get lost in here. I got Just for Today. But I love our literature, man. I love our literature. It's kind of funny. Narcotics Anonymous, it's kind of funny, man. This fellowship here, it's kind of funny. Look, we got people who have a problem with people who share from the literature. You know, it's like, this is Narcotics Anonymous. What literature do you want me to share from? You know, I don't get it. You know, what do you want us to share from Playboy or something? Right? So look, this is our shared experience. Look, the literature talks about it is a group, this is a group conscience text. A group conscience text. Like the traditions talk, as God may express himself in our group conscience. So this is all about God, man. And for the newcomer, look, we got an IP that talks about when you hear the word God mentioned in our meeting, what we are referring to is a power, right, that made possible what seemed impossible. We're not trying to tell you how to get God, none of that. Look, we fiercely defend your right to find a God in this program. It is fiercely defended, whether you want one or don't want one. This is Narcotics Anonymous, man. This is nothing else. Don't try to mix it up. This is the group pamphlet. It says the NA member chosen to speak at a meeting needs to be someone who is working and living the NA program of recovery, which is the 12 steps and 12 traditions. In areas where there is not abundance of NA members with substantial clean time or experience with the 12 steps and 12 traditions, there is the possibility that a group inexperienced in Narcotics Anonymous may misunderstand the NA tradition and invite speakers from outside the NA fellowship. There are several ways to avoid this situation. Our basic text, for instance, reminds us that NA members from other areas are willing to drive long distances to support the groups. The speaker helps fulfill the group's primary purpose, carrying the message of recovery to the addict who still suffers. When speaking at an NA meeting, we should be careful to deliver a clear message of recovery by identifying ourselves as addicts, let that marinate, told you something wrong with me. Recovering from the disease of addiction. It is not necessary to dwell excessively on our active addiction or war stories, because we all know what it was like to use. We came to Narcotics Anonymous to stop using, and we are here to share our experience, strength, and hope of recovery. And it's not a shot against nobody else. It's not. The key is, man, and this is why I got hooked up with, the literature talks about that the addicts, man, were dying. Jimmy K talked about it. Talking about the addicts were dying in the other fellowship because they couldn't identify. There's nothing wrong with that. We hook up with cooperation, but this is Narcotics Anonymous. This is not the other fellowship. This is not church. Right? Our literature says dogma lacks the power that comes to us when we choose to live a spiritual life. I've been told my whole entire life, right? Don't hang around them boys. They smoke them reefers. I was told that a long time ago, but it lacked the power, man. It lacked the power. We say in the Dayton area, a good ass whooping will go a long way, man. It lacked that power that the whooping took, right? The literature said when we became beaten, we became willing. Right? In desperation, we sought help from each other. And come up in Narcotics Anonymous to chill. This ain't no place to chill. We ain't here on Saturday just to chill, man. Look, if you sitting in here, something bad happened to you. Right? You took a whooping, man. Sometimes I come to meetings, man, it's like we be fronting. Look, for real, something is wrong with us. Look, when I was able to get down to my right size, Kobe, man, and understand, boy, something wrong with you, man. Look, I always share this. I tried to graduate from a 2-year college from 1976 to 1991. Something wrong with that, man. You can't get out of 2-year college in 15 years, man. There's something going on with you, boy. Can you tell the truth and get honest, man? I never had the wherewithal, the intestinal fortitude, man, to get honest about what was wrong with me. Right? Until I came to learn. I love this program. Y'all had the guts. That's what I love about Narcotics Anonymous. This is not a fronting program. Look, I loved y'all. Y'all had enough guts to tell me I know, look, I cuss. So I don't know how you going to do that in sign language, but I cuss a little bit, man. Look, I come from the shut the fuck up area. Right? Wildly popular today. It's not, man. We are a kinder, friendlier Narcotics Anonymous. Look, they was like, man, when I came in, they was like, shut your ass up. Sit right here. Don't you move. We don't want you to say nothing. I was scared, man, for 18 months to say anything. But I'm telling you, man, I thank God that y'all took to cut out my story. Narcotics Anonymous did it, man. I came in here giftless, man, empty-handed. I didn't come in here bearing gifts. I came in here in complete defeat. The letter say utter desperation. I love the parts of the letter that says we were complete failures. Huh? Complete failures, man. Can you get to that? I couldn't do it until y'all drove it home to me, man. I thank God for people who had the guts, man, to tell me, look, man, you don't know how to live. That saved my life. That saved my life. I'm telling you, I'm a straight idiot. It's like, God, please help me. Come on, man. Don't let me live my life the way I came in here. A new beginning, right? A new beginning. Look, in the 12th step, in the step working guide, it says we have been given a second life. Don't fuck this one up, Kirk. Come on, man. Come on. Thank you. Look, I love it in the literature say there's something in our self-destructive personality that cries out for failure. Look, when I was able to take the cut out my story and get honest, right? Get down to my right size, man. I was the common denominator in all my peril. Right? Given a stay of execution. That's what reprieve means. A stay of execution. I'll kill myself. I'm still on suicide watch. said we were slowly committing suicide. It's written by addicts, for addicts, about addicts. Slowly committing suicide, and that lost the power to do anything about it. That sounds suicidal to me. Huh? So it's like, man, come on. Come on, man. Come on, God. Help me live. I just want to learn how to live. Y'all gave me the ability to do that. To take a second look, man. Come on, man. We got a pamphlet called Another Look. The IP. Another Look. Addiction is not freedom. Addiction is not personal growth. Addiction is not goodwill. Addiction is not a way of life. Inactive addiction, insanity, institution, and death are the only ends. Look, the disease of addiction, man, disease of addiction in recovery and relapse talks about it is a destructive, violent force. The disease of addiction, man, it's only it never changes its principles. It's always the same. Jails, institutions, and death, always. It works how I say get in touch with the deadly nature of the disease of addiction. Its nature is death. In recovery, though, through the help of a higher power and the steps of NA, anything is possible. So we go from nothingness, from complete defeat, from utter desperation to anything is possible. That's why ours is a message of hope. Our message is that an addict, any addict, right, can stop using drugs, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. Our message is not some 75,000-page dissertation. We got people in here with 10 years or more, can't even get our message right. It's utterly ridiculous. They mess it all up. Our message, that an addict, any addict, can stop using drugs, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. What's so hard about that? I'm talking about thank God for the new possibilities, man. I'm talking about thank God. Thank you, man. Thank you for being honest with me. Thank you. Look, sponsorship is important. What I'm saying when I ask somebody to sponsor me is, man, I don't know how to live. Please help me not kill myself. That's a form of humility. God, come on. Y'all put people in my life, man, who had enough program in them, right, to set me, man, on this path. On this path, man. It says the first 3 steps give us enough to negotiate the path of recovery. Set me on this path to go from, in the end, man, look, in the end, I always share this. I live with my ex-wife and her boyfriend in a basement. Right? Literature say we form strange habits. And mannerisms. Me and him became friends. There's something strange about that, man. Huh? That's strange. Yeah, it is. And I thought it was all right. She ended up kicking both our asses out. I'm talking about where this thing took me, man. I'm talking about utter desperation. I called utter desperation, I called that comfortable. I called that a way of life. I lost it all, man. I always say this, I come from a good family. I got no excuses. None whatsoever. No excuses. My father was an engineer, a civil engineer in 1954. A black man in 54. My father scored so high on the entrance test into the United States Army that they thought he cheated. They made him take the test again and he scored higher. told me I better share this. I can tell you, if two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal, alternate interior angles are equal, and corresponding angles on the same side of the transversal are equal. Right? I can tell you about a demand curve being downward sloping, a supply curve being upward sloping. I can tell you why. Demand curve goes downward sloping because as prices go up, the demand for goods go down, right? I can tell you where the equilibrium point is. I couldn't get my mind around one is too many, motherfucker, and 1,000 is never enough. Like genius, get your ass away from the window. I'm telling you, man, in utter desperation, I'm telling you, look, I was the type of guy, man, I was the type of guy who was, look, I was afraid. I had so much fear in me, so much paranoia, so much pain, so much guilt, so much shame, man. Look, my mother and them didn't have to worry about me stealing from their house. I was so embarrassed that I wouldn't even come around. They had to go find me. I'm talking about what this thing had done. Alienation and isolation. Right? What did it say? Make detection and diagnosis difficult. I'm talking about what it had done, separated me. All it wants to do, the disease of addiction, all it wants to do is separate me so it can kill me. It'll take misery, but misery is not its aim. Its aim is jails, institutions, and death. I'm talking about separate me, man, to kill me. So I thank God for y'all. I thank God for the steps, the freeing in the steps. Our program, and look, the literature say our goal is recovery as experienced through the 12 steps. That's our goal. Recovery as experienced through the 12 steps. If you're not working steps, you're not part of our goal. I don't care if you like it or don't. Look, it's the program of Narcotics Anonymous. I needed to work steps. I needed steps in my life. Literature said what I needed most was a personality change. You need something to change this, man. You need to do something, right? The literature talks about, look, it talks about the things that eluded me my entire life. Life just get me by, went straight over my head. It eluded me. And I thought I was the shit. You couldn't have told me no different. That's why it says after coming to Narcotics Anonymous, we realized we were sick people. That's how cunning the disease is, man. It's a cunning enemy of life. I was so far off the path, man, I didn't have a clue. I was clueless. So far, man, God, when I look back now and I do inventories and I look at my inventory steps, man, and I go back and I look at that stuff, man, it's like God. It said when we lived in another world. I wasn't even a part of this world. I was in another world, man. So far off the path. So close to death. And then y'all saved me. Y'all gave me a reprieve. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, having had, God woke in my spirit, man. The literature talks about a surgery of the spirit. God had to go in and do something. He changed my heart, man. He changed my mind, man. God did something that turned me around. Right? How do you explain not being able to graduate from a 2-year college in 15 years, the same college that you were academically expelled from, you ended up teaching economics there? Explain that. Narcotics Anonymous is the explanation. The 12 steps The fundamental transformation, what God did, man, changed me. Like, God, come on, man, help me. Come on, help me. I don't want to go out the way I came in. If you ain't fired up for recovery, God, you need a spiritual awakening. There's got to be something that happens inside. Recovery and relapse. Man, check this out. It talks about being tired, right? This is everybody. We may tire mentally in repeating our new ideals and tire physically in our new activities. Yet we know that if we fail to repeat them, we will surely take up our old practices. We suspect that if we did not use what we have, we will lose what we have. These times are often the periods of our greatest growth. It says our minds and bodies bodies seem tired of it all. Yet the dynamic forces of change or true conversion deep within may be working to give us the answers that alter our inner motivation and change our lives. Recovery as experienced through our 12 steps is our goal, not mere physical abstinence. So you're going to get tired of going to meetings. You're going to get tired of hearing jokers like me share. You're probably saying now, I wish he'd shut up. I want to watch the game. I understand. Yeah. I want to watch it too. But look, man, there's going to be something that happens, man. There's always something. There's this disease that tells us, man, we can't do it. It's a spiritual warfare. That's why I love the soldiers in Narcotics Anonymous. I love the people, man, who do service work in Narcotics Anonymous. I'm talking about Narcotics Anonymous soldiers in the trenches, on the front line, man. Like this convention committee. Soldiers, right? This thing just didn't happen by our soldiers. If you've ever done work like this, any type of work in Narcotics Anonymous like this, you always got people who always got something to say. Huh? They always, I don't care what you do. You could have 30,000 people in here. They still cry about something. Right? Look, the literature talks about the internal and external forces that could destroy us. There are those on the inside in Narcotics Anonymous who are trying to destroy us, who don't even have a clue. They think they're working a program. If you're so concerned about what happened this weekend, get your ass involved. Do some work. Literature say, man, our message is useless unless we live it. Quit talking. Help out. Get involved. They argue too much. Hell, they probably arguing at you because you argue at home and on the job. Get your ass involved, man. Do something in Narcotics Anonymous. I get tired of it, man, for real. It ain't just here. I'm talking about everywhere. Look, at home it's the same way. Ours is every 2 years, so we work 2 years on ours. I always got somebody to say something. You know what I mean? So I tell them like the traditions tell them. Our traditions say you can freely come and freely go. If you love this program, man, you can stick up for this program. You can stick up for Narcotics Anonymous. You can. Right? I don't know where that comes from. This spirit of, you got to be so loving and caring that we allow people to do anything in our meetings. It never was that way. It never was that way, man. I ain't talking about being like we were years ago and just being straight idiots, but I'm talking about we can stick up for Narcotics Anonymous, man. We can talk about Narcotics Anonymous. We can talk about our traditions. We can talk about our concepts. We can talk about the atmosphere of recovery, what it means for the newcomer. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. What that means, right? What we do here, man, we save lives. Narcotics Anonymous saves lives. It's cool to have fun, but people are dying because we playing. That's why I love soldiers, man. I know it sounds kind of hard. I still love you. Right? Like people who reach their hand out. I just grab them and just put them in a damn headlock. The thing is, look, we talk about losing the fear of hug and being touched, right? Get your ass over here. Just kiss them on the forehead and shit. We love you, man. Come on, keep coming. Be a part of this, man. Be a part of service, man. Help somebody. For the first time, it talks about our self-centeredness can take a back seat. The literature talks about a raging self-obsession. Raging self-obsession. God allowed me to get out of me, to help somebody else, to quit being a bum. Right? Help me, God. I'm talking about, look, a guy was talking about going to school. I went to a few workshops. A guy was talking about going to school, talking about having a 3.5 GPA. Look, the literature talks about, and just for today, we have a meditation that talks about, I would do the program of Narcotics Anonymous a disservice if I didn't share with you what this program has done in my life. I would do God an equal disservice if I took the credit for it. It's Narcotics Anonymous that did it. You need to share that you had a 3.5 GPA. You need to share that. Somebody needs to know it. Lost dreams awakened. A new beginning, man. Right? Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a new way to live, a new life. People talk about, well, this is a spiritual program. Look, what you miss is the full fruit of the labor of love lives in the harvest. It's the literature says it always comes in the right season. The full fruit of the labor of love. What you seeing is the fruit when people talk about that. But it takes work, man. It takes work in here to get those type of things. You don't see the labor because you don't want to see it. I don't know, man. I got a associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, an MBA in business economics. I graduated summa cum laude, right? Talking about what God has done. I'm talking about today, man, I am a contracting officer for the United States Air Force. I couldn't even get a license. I got a bachelor's degree on the bus. A bachelor's degree on the bus. I couldn't even get a license. Right? I spent 13 months in treatment. Well, I did 30 days, relapse, went over to the homeless program and did 13 months there, did 9 months in a halfway house. About the time I got out the halfway house, I almost had an associate's degree. I'm talking about that's unheard of today, man. You don't get that much time today. But that was back in 91. My clean date is August 23rd, 1991. God allowed me, man, right, to get my life together. I'm talking about a guy who's scared. I'll share about me, man. I got a messed up eye. I always share that. I share it for a reason. Most of you can see it. right? You can see it. I got a messed up eye. But God took that thing, look, I'm telling you, everybody's got something, right? Everybody's got something. There's something that held us back. I don't know what it is for you. Search your inventory. You got to do the work on it. But God will take that negativity, the thing that held you back, and propel you forward. I'm talking about sharing, man. Look, the literature say we share for this reason so that the fear slips away. I'm not always comfortable with who I am. I suffer from the dis-ease of addiction. There's this dis-ease. I always felt different. I always felt off-centered. I never felt comfortable, right? I don't feel comfortable 100% all the time today. But I feel a hell of a lot better about myself today than I ever have in my life. As a result of the program. As a result of getting honest with y'all. But look, the thing about the beauty of this program is y'all gave it to me first. I never had the ability to do that till I heard y'all do it. You all shared. You weren't playing. You shared about your life. You shared about your fears. You shared about your insecurities. You shared about jacking off. You shared about that shit. Huh? I did it so much I should have carpal tunnel syndrome. Y'all shared about the abortions. You talked about the abortions. My disease say, you a murderer. Right? Shared about that stuff. The stuff I said I'll never share about. You shared about being afraid of women. You shared about being shy. You shared about the shame and the guilt, the sexual stuff, the sexual deviant stuff, behaviors that we engaged in. The prostitution and the buying sex and all this other kind of crap that we did. Right? Y'all had enough guts to share about that. I kept quiet about that kind of stuff. Never let them see you sweat. I come from don't tell them shit. Then I learned that was stupid. That's retarded. That's why you ended up in Narcotics Anonymous. Because you don't know how to live. Right? People who are healing, people who have an understanding of God, understand the reason, understand the exact nature behind fellowshipping, behind sharing. I always thought that was some punk stuff. Share nothing. Huh? Almost killed me. Literature say our best thinking got us into trouble. When I was at the top of my game, I was in trouble, man. My best thinking. Look, the 7 steps says at some point you have to stop intellectualizing this program. You cannot outthink the disease of addiction. It is a power greater than you. You can't do it. The disease of addiction will have you smoking a joint out of your master's certificate. Don't you get it twisted. Don't think that that's going to save your life because you got a master's degree. Don't think because you got a good job that's going to save you. It never saved me. Y'all saved me. I need to get credit where credit is due. It's Narcotics Anonymous, man. I ain't got a life outside this program. I don't. This program gave me my life. I ain't one of those, right, who come up here, you see them every 6 months, talking about, I'm so grateful for Narcotics Anonymous. Where the hell you been? You so grateful, but where you been? What self-centered, what in your mind, what in your mind allows you to get a gift from God that was given to you, a gift from God, and not give the gift back. That is my sincerest prayer. God, don't let me leave this program. I don't care what I do. I don't care where I go. Don't let me leave this program. Please allow me to be service in Narcotics Anonymous. Our 11 steps say you can go to church. Go. We ain't got a problem with you going to church. We ain't got a problem with you doing anything. You can go up on the mountains with the monks. Have your ass in your home group the next day. Help the still suffering addict, man. Right? That's my thing, boy. I always got something and ran from it. Allow me, man, to be a stand-up type of guy today, God. Allow me to be involved in this program, man. To love this program. To love the addict who still suffers. The people who stood up, man, and when they was doing it Friday night for less than 30 days, less than 60 days. The ones who celebrated today, 60, 90. I'm talking about giving something away, man. I can be an asset today instead of a liability. I know it's kind of hard, man, but look, this is what we do. In Narcotics Anonymous, we save lives. We believe in addicts. Look, we do recovery say the addict today is more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proving itself in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. Ours is a no excuse message. When they say there's no excuse and it's all inclusive. When we say any addict, that took it out, man. Any addict. No better, no less than, but I could stick up for Narcotics Anonymous. Y'all stuck up for me when I needed help. When I was desperate and I was dying, somebody showed me how to live. I thank God for that. Somebody showed me, man, there's another way. There's a better way. Right? You can do this, Kirk. You can do it. Work the steps. Get involved in the program. Let me find in here, we do recover. Okay. I don't know how much time I got.
2 hours.
Oh, Lord. 2 hours. Okay. Look, we do recovery. It says we cannot deal with the obsession and the compulsion. The only alternative is to stop using and start learning how to live. Look, the other part of our literature say grow up or die. 2 alternatives. Grow up or die. Here it says the only alternative is to stop using and start learning how to live. When we are willing to follow this course of action and take advantage of the help available to us, a whole new life, new beginnings is possible. In this way, we do recover. In this way, when I follow direction, it said you don't have to understand this program, Kirk, for this program to work. All you got to do is follow direction. Kirk, work steps. Do you got your first step done? Have you done your work? Look, my sponsor and them didn't play with me. I remember messing around, right? I forget what step, it was 4th or 5th, one of those, and took too long. He said, if you don't have it done by the end of the month, I'm starting you back over. I said, okay. I had it done by the end of the month. They used to do that. Got me through the steps, man. He got me to look at me. He got me to look at the exact natures. Right? I always lived on the surface. I didn't know there was something under there. I didn't understand the triangle of self-obsession. I didn't understand anything about anger, resentment, and fear. Fear being the base of the triangle, that all character defects come out the triangle. I didn't know nothing about no exact nature, right? I didn't know anything about that. I thought stealing was stealing. I thought hoeing was hoeing, right? I thought failure was failure. I didn't understand that. I didn't know it was self-centeredness. I didn't know it was fear. I didn't know it was these things. I didn't know it was dishonesty. I didn't know it was inconsideration. I didn't know those things. I didn't understand those things. I didn't have a clue how to live. Till they told me, they showed me, man. Kirk, you can get through this, man. You can get down to the exact nature. Find out how you live. The fourth step, right? And it works out on why. And in the step working guide says we lived a sort of half-life. Half-life. Going through the motions, but never being fully alive. It said we accepted life by default. I was a bum by default. I accepted it. Here, take this. And I took it. It's like, come on, you can live better than that. You ain't got to live like that. The disease of addiction ain't got to punk you out like that. Come on, man, be a man. Y'all showed me how to be a man. Y'all told me get honest first. Talk about how you tried to be a man didn't work. Right? Go ahead and make amends. Y'all told me, Kirk, shut up. That's me, man. I'm telling you. You need to know who you are. Mine ain't no sexual thing. I don't want your wife, right? I don't want your girlfriend. I damn sure don't want your boyfriend, right? That ain't my problem. I love my wife. Mine is I don't know how to shut up. Shut your ass up. Right? I worked at McDonald's. My man said, I better share this story. I worked at McDonald's. My other thing was, Kobe always said this, was the white man. 400 years of servitude. Right? That was my favorite excuse. I worked for a black company. The owners were black. The employees were black. The equipment was black. They still fired my ass. Share that story, man. Y'all took all the excuses away. Kirk, it ain't nobody else. Shut up. They be talking to you, I get fired. They were like, we weren't even talking to you. Get your shit and get out of here. When it happens to you, man, you'll learn. Look, man, come on, man. I need to learn how to live. I was 33 years old almost. Got fired from McDonald's. Come on, man. You 33, you can't work at McDonald's. What's so hard about frying up? What's wrong with you, man? Come on. Blaming your mother, blaming this person, blaming that person. I couldn't get up. I wouldn't do this. Wouldn't that? It's always something. God, I got tired of that. Come on, man. I'm talking about I was chronic about it. My first 4 jobs I got fired from in recovery. Talking. I guess y'all give me a way to talk now without getting into too much trouble. Then it was like, shut up. I got to tell myself, I'm talking about consciously tell myself when my boss is talking to me or my boss is talking to somebody else about the operations, shut your mouth. Do what he says and tell him thank you. My sponsor said that's not cute. Man, I'm telling you, I love him, man. That's not cute. You keep getting fired. Come on, man. Okay. Took responsibility. Take responsibility. Be responsible, man. Kirk, be responsible for your life. Look, I don't gamble, don't do none of that stuff. I got a problem with, I ain't trying to talk all big and, like I don't find women pretty or none of that. I told you I jacked off for many a years. Shit, that ain't the damn thing. My thing is, look. Y'all showed me how to live, Kirk. That will kill you. I'm on the board of trustees for the treatment facility that I was in. The treasurer for the treatment facility. Right now, we have an executive director. I got to be real careful. And he's being called to the floor about some improprieties, right? So I'm talking about character defects. I'm talking about the things that will destroy you. That will destroy you, Kirk, if you don't work on yourself. If you don't get down to what's really going on with you and get honest with your sponsor about what you doing and how you feeling. Not about what if only, and just one more time. Not about what you want, what you think he wants to hear, but tell him what you're doing. That's humility, man. Look, Spons, this is what I did. Now, you know that was stupid as hell, is what he tell me, right? I say, yeah. Huh? But look, I tell you, I always tell the story. Me and my wife, we was coming back from Tennessee. This is how my disease worked with me. We were coming back from Tennessee, and the car had stopped, and there was a backup on the highway. So my disease said, tell her. That's how my disease talk. I don't know how yours talk to you. This is how mine talk to me. Mine said, tell her she's fucking around on you. I said, you fucking around on me, right? The moment I said it, see, this is the disease I got. It told me to tell her. The moment I said it, it said, you so stupid, mother. You so stupid. That's the disease I got. It told me to say it. The literature says it cries out for failure. The moment I said it, it called me an idiot. Huh? Turned on me like that. And it makes you think that you're crazy. That's what we dealing with, man. We dealing with a mind, man. We dealing with a spiritual battle here. God help me get through this. Teach me how to live. Come on. And then with people like you, who were committed, who were decent enough, right, to not kill me, allow me to be myself, you know what I mean, and help me live, man. Rooms like this. It started, man. The basic text started in 1970. I was listening to Greg P. In 1970, he was talking about there were 100 meetings in the Worldwide Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous in 1970. We got like 43,000 weekly meetings in Narcotics Anonymous. We in 126 different countries, man. I'm talking about exponential growth, and it's because of the literature. The literature has allowed us to grow like this. People getting the message out. Step working guide. It works how and why. To get the message out. Literature, man. To fit our needs. I love the step working guide. It says, have you made peace? Have you made peace with the fact that you're an addict? Have you made peace with the things you need to do to stay clean? Or do you dread a lifetime of meeting contact, of meeting attendance, sponsored contact, or do you just see these things as a normal course of life? Kirk, have you surrendered to the program? Have you gotten down, man, to your right size? I don't think, it's not that you got to surrender 1,000% to everything. Look, it says we don't have to understand this program for us to work. I just had to become willing to let somebody teach me. I had to become willing to have somebody take me through the steps to do the work that was involved in that, right? I was on fire for it, man. Come on, help me. It was like I was in a panic. God, I don't want to live like this. Come on, please help me. And y'all did that. The step work did it. It changed me. Doing inventories and getting down to, what really happened, man, and talking about myself and sharing all this stuff, man. And continuing to take personal inventory. To do that, the step working guide talks about the 10th step. It talks about the 10th step is a process within a process. It talks about it's 4 through 9 on a daily basis. To continue to look at me. Continue to ask for help. Continue to share with somebody what's going on with you. And stop trying to live your life the way you did before. Step work. It's what the program is about. I don't know how to emphasize that anymore. Work the steps or die. The step work. Our program is the 12 steps. You got people who do anything but work a program. Anything. I'm telling you anything. Look, the literature say we will experience our powerlessness. If you ever sponsor somebody, right? You will experience your powerlessness. On a deeper level. But we still love them. We still try to continue to be there for them. To tell them, man, to share with them. They say the addict won't stop till he want to stop. He could be counseled, talked to, he could be kicked off a damn mountain, prayed over, water sprinkled on him. Addict won't stop till he want to stop. Powerlessness. I experienced it. But I've experienced the beauty of this program. I have a working knowledge of the 12 steps. My sponsor ensured that I had a working knowledge of the 12 steps. I've taken people through the 12 steps. I've got sponsees who have taken sponsees through the 12 steps. Right? On down the line. I'm talking about third, fourth generation. We believe in step work, man. That's the way I was given. It was given to me. Do step work. Don't just be in here playing. Do some step work, man. Get involved. Understand what's going on with you. Put it down on paper. If you can't write or whatever, that's why it's called the step working guide. There's some people who can't write. That's what it says in the step working guide. That's why it's not called the step writing guide. Because some people can't write. But if you can write, write it. But it's our step work, man. It's the service work of this program. Jimmy K called this, what we do in Narcotics Anonymous, a sacred keep. What we passing on, man, is sacred. It's a keepsake. It's a treasure. What we got here, man, people pay thousands of dollars to get. Thousands. Spend their entire life, their fortunes, to get what we've been getting, man, in a simple program. All you got to do, man, look, surrender. Surrender. Is it live or is it Memorex? Tell yourself your story, man. I always hear that when them boys, man, from Detroit was beating my ass, right? I'm talking about whooping me. It wasn't like, they called timeout and they set in a stunt double, right? It was live. I took the whooping. I ended up in the hospital. I ended up living in the basement. I ended up losing it all. I'm talking about all. I had nothing. And now today, man, going from homelessness to owning a couple of homes, to being married, to having degrees, to having all kinds of certifications. I'm talking about, I got stocks and bonds. I smoked crack. I had a straight shooter that big. I kept it in my shoe. I was a shoe crackhead. And God, man, I'm talking about the program. I'm talking about Narcotics Anonymous. I'm talking about this power that made possible what seemed impossible, changed that around for me. And you see it happening in other people's lives, man. If you've ever taken somebody through the 12 steps and you've seen how they came into this program and you've taken them through the 12 steps and you've seen their lives be transformed, there is no greater gift. No greater gift than to see that happen for someone. Someone who was desperate and dying. Someone who came into meetings and was intimidated and captivated by the meetings. And then you see him come up here, man, brimming with love and confidence. I'm talking about being restored to health. The 12 steps, man, that process. This service work process. The love of the fellowship, man. Just the beauty of it all. My God, come on. And you can do it for somebody else. I don't know what we're looking at. I know the game has started. And y'all ready to roll? Here, let me read this. 123. As you were. 128. It says, I have found a new home in the fellowship of Narcotics. I love this, man. I was unique. I have found a new home in the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. My life again has meaning. I have found that I have but one calling in life, and that is to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. I am so grateful to God and Narcotics Anonymous that I may do this today. But I have found a lot of things, man, and gotten a lot of things, but I have one calling. One calling. That's not the NBA. That's not. That's not the job. And I'm sorry to say, that's not being a husband. I have one calling, man, and that is to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. If you have been down the path that we have been, and you understand the utter desperation, and you understand coming up out of that, that is only God who brought me up out of that. And because I've been able to do that, then I've been able to get the other stuff. Working the steps and, the whole 9 yards. Been able to do that. But it's because of this, man. It's because of you all. It's because of the predecessors, man. I love the people, man, who blazed this trail for real. I thank God for them. I have found that you are just like me. I am no longer better than or less than. I feel a real love and camaraderie in Narcotics Anonymous Fellowship. My great spiritual awakening has been that I am an ordinary addict. I am not unique. There are those who refuse to join us. Just freaking refuse. I sponsor a couple of them. And take the path that we have chosen because they feel they are unique. They may die, but may God bless them too. My name is Kirk. I'm an addict. Thank you very much.